Rowdy Nation TV. Welcome back to the channel. The Petit family murders. We're going to get into this. This is a story that took place back in 2007, and it's the Petit family murders. It happened in Cheshire, Connecticut, and the victims was a family, the Petit family, and it was Dr. William Petit, his wife Jennifer Hawk Petit, his two daughters, 17-year-old Haley and 11-year-old Michaela. Now, this was a happy family living their life, and fairly successful, and they were victimized by Stephen Hayes, 47, and Joshua Commissar Javeski, 30. Now, these two parolees met at a halfway house and also were in a substance abuse program together. They were basically crackheads, basically. And, they didn't have any violent, they didn't have a violent record. They didn't have any assaults or anything on their record. They were basically just cat burglars, breaking in houses, taking what they needed, and they would leave. But on top of that, that's what they did to sustain their crack problem. They were, like I said, they were on drugs, and I'm not sure if crack was the only drug. I think the younger guy, Commissar Jeski, was a meth head, and the older guy, Stephen Hayes, he was a crackhead. So they both had some serious drug problems. And like I said, they met and were at a substance abuse program together, and I think that's where they relapsed. And they were always getting together trying to come up with some kind of plot to get some money, as addicts do when they relapse. So what happened was Commissar Javeski, he seen Jennifer Hawk Pettit and the daughters at a grocery store, and he followed them. He followed them home, found out where they stay, and then he called Stephen Hayes. Like, hey, Stephen, I got something for us. I got a way that we can make some money. I seen this nice these two girls. He watched them. He seen the family. He said, I know where we can make some money. So Stephen Hayes, being like he said himself, done relapsed, and he needed the money for some for drugs. So they continue with this plot. They came up with this plot to do a home invasion. So the next night they went to the house, broke into the house, and that's where they found Dr. William Petit asleep on the couch. Now, he had went to sleep because he had stayed up late, and his wife and kids had went upstairs. So he was downstairs by himself, and he had fell asleep on the couch. So when they broke in, they found him on the couch, and he was immediately beaten with a baseball bat by Joshua Commissar. They beat him with a baseball bat. I'm not sure if they thought that he died or not, but they take him downstairs and tie him to a pole. So evidently they didn't think he was dead. So they beat him with the bat, take him downstairs. They go upstairs, see the wife and the two daughters. That's where everything transpired upstairs in those bedrooms. They tied the younger girls to the bedroom posts. They sodomized, they raped the 11-year-old Joshua Commissar raped the 11-year-old girl, the mother, but they were there for, people, you got to understand, all this takes place, and it takes 7 hours. They're in the house for 7 hours. So me personally, I believe all three women were raped. The next morning, when the morning came, Stephen Hayes told Jennifer Hawk Pettit, you need to go to the bank, withdraw $15,000. So him and her left. On the way, he stopped at a gas station and got some gas in a container. So they go to the bank. She's in there. She's calm. She's telling the clerk that, hey, my family has been held hostage, and I have to get this $15,000. They say if I get the $15,000 and take it back, they won't harm my family. So the clerk believes everything this woman is saying, so she gives her the money, and she leaves. Immediately, the clerk does her job and calls the police. The police comes to the bank. Okay, well, they're telling her she's not at the bank. They're holding the family hostage at home. So the police have to go to the house now. So they go to the house. They do all this procedural thing. They say they set up a perimeter. While they're setting up this perimeter, this all happened. All this takes time. It takes 33 minutes. They're sitting outside the house. 33 minutes done pass. Now, while the 33 minutes is passing, this is what's happening in the house. Dr. Petit is downstairs. He's breaking loose from the pole. He's getting away. He actually gets away and he crawls out a basement window. Crawls out the basement window. His neighbor notices him rolling around on the ground. He doesn't even know who it is because he's so beaten to a pulp. He tells the police. The police comes to the side of the house and grabs him, arrests. They don't know what role he is, if he's part of the family or if he's, they don't know who he is, so they arrest him. So while that's happening, they're back inside. Hayes, he sexual assaults the mother, ties her up, and then they started pouring gas. Now you got to remember the girls are tied up with their hands over their head, spread eagle, because they done raped them and did all this stuff to them. They pour gas on all of them. They're still alive while all this is happening. They set the house on fire. Set the house on fire. The police are just still out there sitting there. It's 30 minutes have passed by. The next thing you know, a car comes out, busting out of the garage with Stephen Hayes and Joshua Krummer-Sajewski in the car. But when they bust out of the garage, they come straight into the police. The police have been sitting there for 30 minutes. So automatically, they get arrested, taken to jail. They're charged with home invasion, kidnapping, sexual assault, arson, and murder. They get the death penalty. Fine. Okay. Now, that brings us, this happened in 2007. That brings us back to 2019. The death penalty is taken off the table. It's commuted to life. Wow. After hearing this story, one of the most heinous stories I've heard in a while, where this family has been massacred and the dad has been beat to a pummel, it's just amazing that if anybody deserved the death penalty, it's these two right here. Okay, now, after saying all that, they received life sentences, right? Now, the 47-year-old, he was the only one, it's a little bit late, but he had remorse. He didn't want to live. He actually wanted the death penalty because he couldn't live. He knew what he did was wrong, and he had nightmares about it. Krummer-Sajewski, straight narcissist, he didn't care. You know what I mean? He had no feeling when he was talking to the police about this, no remorse whatsoever. Now, that's going to bring me back to what I'm about to say now. This guy, Stephen Hayes, now he's in jail. He has gender dysphoria. If you guys don't know what that is, he has a gender identity crisis. So they're now, with our tax dollars, we're paying for his hormone medicines because he wants to be a female now. Now, after all the dirt and crap that you did to this family, now you're in jail where you need to stand up and be a man. Now, I bet you, I can only imagine, I can only imagine. I don't want to go deep into what for what they're probably doing to him, but he deserves everything that's happening to him in jail right now, and if it takes for him to turn into a woman to accept what's happening to him in jail, so be it. This is Rowdy Nation TV. Tell me what you think about this story. It's a heinous story, and click that like button and subscribe. With Rowdy Nation TV, we're going to bring you some more stories. This story right here, I just had to, get it out. It just kind of upset me. But Rowdy Nation TV, click that like button. Subscribe to me. We out.